Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video, which is going to be all about the best, hottest beauty sales around. You know me, I don't like to throw a lot of sales content in your face, down your throats until you're absolutely sick to death of it, because I know there's a lot of it about at the moment. So instead of me making dozens of videos about all of the different sales and posting numerous posts about all of the different sales and reductions, I've decided to give you this one video with all of the information that you need to know, the best of the best sales with the biggest reductions on the best products and what my picks are from each of them, all in one nice little package. And I promise this will be the end of me banging on about Black Friday unless something insane happens, which I must tell you about, okay? That's the one exception. So I've separated the wheat from the chaff, and I'm here to share the top 5 sales of Black Friday season. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so kicking us off, Rafa, a very underrated sale that I feel sort of flies a bit under the radar, and maybe people don't quite know how bargainous their sale currently is. So if we have a look at their website, everything on the Rafa website, there's no restrictions, there's no exceptions, everything on their website is massively reduced. They also currently have an additional 10% off of these prices when you add to basket and checkout, and we've got a discount code, which last time I checked, unless they've busted us, it's going to work on top of the prices that are already reduced. So there are reductions on reductions on reductions on Rafa's website across the entire collection. So as far as my personal recommendations for Rafa, literally anything. It all depends what you're looking for. I'm a big fan of any of their Shodo brushes. They're particularly good reductions on the moment on sets and bundles, but their Shodo sets, you really can't go wrong. Those brushes are such genius. If you're not familiar with them, they sort of have like 2 layers. They're inspired by calligraphy brushes, and the goal is to sort of give you know how calligraphy artists can get, quite thick areas and then tiny precise flicks with the same brush. The Shodo collection is designed to achieve that same thing. So with the same brush, you've got an area that will help you to blend and buff into large areas and get something really diffused. And then it has a layer of more precise, sparser, sort of sharper bristles that allow you to really carve things out, be more precise, be more specific with where you're applying and also carving things out, things like liner. So that's what those brushes do, and they do it so cleverly. My other favorite brushes from Rafa, any complexion liquid cream brushes. 2 of my absolute favorites, the B04, the LC03. These are my go-to everyday foundation brushes. They're also perfect for cream bronzer, cream blush as well. One of my all-time favorites, the B05. I think this actually is intended for concealer, but this is the world's greatest cream or liquid eyeshadow brush. This is what I use with all of my Lisa Eldridge liquid shadows, with any cream shadows. It will work with powder shadows as well if you just want to pack onto the lid, but I always use this every time I use liquid shadow. It just diffuses and blends it perfectly, makes it a piece of cake. It also has that really precise edge so that you can carve shadow out, and you could even use it under the lash line. It's the ultimate liquid or cream eyeshadow brush, and it is quite unique. Some of my favorite powder eyeshadow brushes from Rafa, the 01. It's just such a staple for getting some definition and blending into the crease, especially if you have hooded eyes. That area is a bit smaller. You've got smaller eyes, smaller lid space to work with. It's really precise but nice and fluffy, so you can get a nice blended bit of definition into the crease very easily. Of course, the 21, it's what I use to pack my lid shade without fail every single time I do my eyeshadow pretty much. Also a great underbrow highlighter, inner corner highlighter, lower lash line, very versatile brush, but for me, it's all about packing a lid shade on. It's just absolutely perfect. Also the 15, great sort of one and done shadow brush, nice large shape, but with a tapered point to it, which really allows you to get into the crease, blend up towards the brow really quickly and easily because it's a nice large size. And then something very, very diddy. This is a Shodo 06. Like I said, all the Shodo brushes are genius. This one is so tiny and precise, and it just has the perfect combination of flexibility and precision. Perfect for things like doing a wing with powder, perfect for inner corner highlighting. Today I use this to pop a little pop of pink shimmer shadow in the bottom lash line right in the center, really precise. It's just perfect for all those little detail jobs. So those are my top picks, but to be honest, Rafa brushes, you can't go wrong. It just depends what you specifically are looking for or needing right now. They really are all excellent, and some unbelievably large discounts going on right now. Next up, Cult Beauty. Cult Beauty always bring a really good sale. They're not one of these retailers who declare this huge massive sale and then they only include like 4 things. So sorry. I better have a drink. They include pretty much everything. On their website, it says 25% off almost everything, but I have gone through and literally found everything that I would want to recommend or would want to shop in this sale, and nothing was excluded. So I don't know what is excluded. I couldn't find anything that I was interested in, but it certainly is not a lot, and it's certainly not really any of the brands that would be the main brands that we would be excited to shop in this sale. So I've had a look. Some of my recommendations for this sale: for a start, foundations, expensive foundations. Cult Beauty stock the La Prairie foundation. I'm wearing it today. I've been raving about it recently because I've finally come out as an enjoyer of that foundation. I've been scared to say it out loud, but I can no longer lie to you. That is a ridiculously priced foundation. You can save over £30 on this foundation. Is it still extortionate expensive? Yes, but it is £30 less extortionately expensive, so you've got to take the savings where you can with that one. And if it's like me, it's an investment, something that you know you will get a lot of use out of, and you better use every last scrap of it, let me tell you, for that price. £30 is can't be sniffed at as a saving, can it? So if you've been thinking and holding off, waiting for a sale, the thing is with Cult Beauty as well, they do an excellent rewards system. So if you've been saving points, you know, you can get a really big saving on that with £30 off and then using your points. I love saving my Cult Beauty points. I just love a cheeky discount. Feels like I robbed the place, you know? Also, my Holy Grail Tom Ford foundation is included in this. You see what I say when nothing really that you would expect to be the exclusions is excluded here. You know, this foundation is brand new. It has 20% off, which again can't be sniffed at. It is a high price point. So you're saving sort of £16, I think, ish. Again, a decent saving off of a foundation. I don't know if you're going to get much more than 20% off of that foundation. And again, if you have vouchers saved up, you could make a really great steal on that foundation. All Oribe, all of the Gold Lust products again that I've been raving about recently. The gift set that I included in my wish list is almost £30 off. That is now a ridiculous price for that gift set. Those are really excellent, very expensive products. The bundle is already a good saving, so having that amount, almost £30 more off of that already bundled saving, is a steal. The Hourglass palettes are included here, and they do have the full 25% off, so over £20 saving on those palettes. And I think they've got all 3 in stock. Yes, all 3 are currently in stock, all 3 of those palettes. £23 saving, 25% off of those Hourglass palettes. So if you've been waiting for a sale, again, I think 25%, that's about as good as it can get, really. And fair play to you if you've been saving points. I love saving points. Okay, and if you weren't aware already of Cult Beauty's loyalty scheme, get involved. It's a very good one. I find that I earn points really quickly, and they're decent, and there's no restrictions you can use. You know, just as soon as you've got enough for a £5, £10 credit, and you can take it off anything. Really, really good. really, really generous. Like I said, struggling to find something I would be interested in that isn't included, so I don't think there's many exclusions whatsoever. And there are some amazing products included. Cult Beauty also has some really nice fragrance brands, including Kilian. So again, you can make a really good saving on a fragrance at the moment. Let me just check if Kilian is included. Wow, it is included. And even the brand new Angel Share on the Rocks is 20% off. So that's over £40 off on that fragrance. I feel like I'm on QVC. These are actually exciting prices. It's like an episode of The Apprentice. I hate that episode. It makes me shrivel and die inside. So I'm so sorry about this. Next up, the Selfridges Black Friday sale. Now, I'm giving you piping hot tea, okay? Well, I am as I'm filming this, but you know how things like to change very quickly and make a mug of us all, especially me. Currently, as I'm filming this, the Selfridges sale has only started for key holders. Now, I don't know why they call us key holders, because I don't have a key, okay? I'm not letting myself into Selfridges on a Wednesday evening to shop privately. Essentially, it just means that you're like a loyalty member. You pressed a button at some point and now you're a key holder. It's early access for members is what it is. They're just trying to make us feel important, and we know we're not. So Selfridges sale is up to 30% off, which I'm always suspicious of, because does that mean that one thing is 30% off and everything else is like 5%? Better not be. But it's not. So I've done a little digging. I've had a little cheeky look. So you can access this sale already if you are a key holder, whatever this means. But I think it will mean that it is starting any minute now for everybody else. Now we've got Diptyque on Selfridges, so if you're after a new candle, there are really decent reductions on those. It looks like it's 10% on Diptyque, which isn't especially exciting, but it is a decent amount if you're looking for a new luxury candle. The Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Cream Bronzer, one of my all-time favourite bronzers, my favourite ever cream bronzer, is £10 off. We've got the Neon Wellbeing Pod that I spoke about also in my Christmas wish list. That is over £30 reduced in the sale, so there's no excuses now for my family, okay? That's £30 off. Really nice big saving. Calendars. There are a lot of calendars. Now, you guys know how I feel about Advent calendars, but I do accept that a lot of you love them, and I'm assuming you're going to love them even more with a massive saving because they are a really high price point. The saving is much higher as well when you have a percentage discount. The YSL Advent calendar caught my eye. That is almost £60 reduced, and there are a lot of calendars on Selfridges that will be included in this sale. Really hefty savings on those. The Byredo Bibliophilia palette, that's reduced by £10. The Maison Francis Coeur de Jean, one of my all-time favourite Baccarat Rouge 540 extract, this gift set. I love these gift sets. You get a full-size fragrance, a mini travel size, and a candle. This is £75, almost £75 reduction. So again, some huge big discounts there, especially on fragrances. Selfridges do stock a huge number of my all-time favourite fragrance houses, and because it's a percentage discount, there are going to be huge reductions. So watch out for that one. You can shop it already if you are a key holder, whatever it means. If you're not, it will be any day, I'm sure. Maybe even by the time this video goes up, you will have access. But again, it seems to be site-wide. Everything is reduced by an amount. It's just how high, but there are some great savings there on some really beautiful products. Next up, we really can't do a best of sales video without talking about the Pat McGrath sale. Now, I don't know if you will have noticed, but creators, content creators, influencers do not talk very much anymore about Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath sales and launches, I don't know if you've noticed, but there is now a massive reduction in the amount of people posting about them. And there is a very good reason for that. And I don't know if I've seen anybody talking about this, but you really won't see as much content about Pat McGrath's own website and her own sales on her website, even though they are phenomenal. And there is a very good reason for that. And that is that Pat McGrath has withdrawn withdrawn from all affiliate companies. So you can't post affiliate links to Pat McGrath's website anymore. They won't make you any money. So you will see creators talking about Pat McGrath's sales on other websites, but Pat McGrath's own website sale is the best there is. It is up to 40% site-wide, 30 to 40%, and it depends on how much you spend as to how much you save. The more that you spend, the higher percentage discount you get. If you spend $50, you get a 30% saving, $150, 35%, and $250 spend will get you a 40% saving. And as far as I can see, pretty much everything is included. Her holiday eyeshadow palette, quads, her powders, her mascara, lipsticks, mothership palettes, her bronzers, cheek products. It seems like, as far as I can tell, there may be some exclusions. I can't see any. It looks like everything is included here. For me, the number one recommendation when it comes to Pat McGrath is her motherships. My all-time favorite being Mothership X, Moonlit Seduction. It's been my favorite since she came along. I'm absolutely head over heels in love with it. From the moment we met until today, I love that palette, but it's the perfect time for any mothership. If you've been tempted, if you've been thinking about investing in one, now is the time to get a really good saving. Because even if that's all you want, so you're only going to qualify for the 30%, that's a massive saving. Again, 30% off. These palettes are £119. That's a really, really good saving, and they are so amazing. Her motherships, they really have never disappointed me. You know, Pat McGrath has really gone off the radar for a lot of content creators in the last few years. You definitely don't see as much hype and excitement about the brand as there used to be around launches. Do you remember the absolute bun fight that happened over Divine Rose in the pink packaging? Who was a part of that? Who was personally victimized during that situation? I was. I don't know about you. It was unbelievable. Launches, limited edition products sold out instantly overnight, and that has all gone away. And I believe a huge reason for that is because they have pulled out of the affiliate links companies, and content creators are not going to work super hard posting and grafting and sitting online and getting things done as quickly as possible if it means that they're going to make zero from it for their efforts. So I definitely think that is a factor in why we've seen a big drop off in the amount of Pat McGrath content, particularly when it comes to posting about sales or launches. I don't know if you would have noticed it, but I've certainly noticed there's a big drop in how much we hear or see about Pat McGrath launches and sales these days, but they're still there. They're still amazing. Content creators just aren't getting paid to tell you about them anymore, but I'm here to do it for free. The link in the description box won't make me any money, but it will save you a lot of money, and that's what matters. And finally, in my top 5 Black Friday sales for beauty and makeup especially, Natasha Denona. Natasha Denona also has a site-wide discount, 25%, and you can get additional savings up to 40% on bundles. I'm not a huge big fan of bundles typically, because I feel like a lot of the time they're trying to get rid of things that didn't sell that well, and there's always something in the bundle that I don't want or need, but they kind of lure you in with this big savings percentage on the top of them. But the 25% off is a great saving. My top picks from Natasha Denona, of course, the Sculpt palette that I've been talking about recently, absolutely in love with it. Is it mega exciting? It is to me, not to many, but it is to me. But it is just an everyday staple that is really worth the investment, in my opinion, for that quality. Any of her midi palettes, I am absolutely head over heels with the midi size Natasha Denona palettes. Whichever colour story appeals to you, it won't disappoint, and a really decent saving. Her concealer I love, her blushes I love, but they're not going to give you a huge big saving for 25% because the price point is lower. Her foundation, you know, you can make a decent saving on that, but again, it's a lower price point, so it's not as big of a saving. The Lila palette is a whopping $30 reduction on that at the moment. That is like her old midi size. I have loved the Lila palette. I've had my eye on it for so long. I've never pulled the trigger because there's always newer palettes coming along from the brand. That one is finally winging its way to me, and it's just, I've been obsessed with it for years now. That is a really big saving because it is the higher price point when the mini palettes were bigger and had larger pan sizes. So that's a really good reduction at the moment. Again, Natasha Denona, there's very few products that I wouldn't recommend from the website, especially when it comes to the eyeshadow. You can't go wrong. And so there you have it. Those are my top 5 beauty and makeup sales for Black Friday 2025. If you have seen some amazing big sales that you think rival these huge big reductions, drop them in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.